Hey guys, another Diablo 4 build guide, however you want to call it. I mean, we're just talking here about the beta, so not a big thing at the moment, just 25 level. I'm playing here Hydra Sorcerer or Hydra Sorcerer with barriers, with flame shield and ice armor. As you can see it here on my ability build or my skill tree, everything is about the HYDRAS. What means everything? They are the most important thing damage wise here in this build. We also have for a little bit looking cool Inferno as ultimate. To be honest, it's strong but not that strong, so it definitely can take it. It's fitting good into this fire build. Overall, and then we have the flame shield and the ice armor, like I said, which make the build pretty good, pretty tanky, crazily pretty tanky. As you can see here, I have some legendaries, but the legendaries are not doing anything here that makes this build possible. So I like to give builds without necessary legendaries. Why? Because I'm pretty sure that in the release of the game we will not see as much legendaries as now. So I prefer builds that are not dependent on one or two legendaries. So that's it. You can see here again Hydra, Flame Shield, Ice Armor, the ultimate, normal Fireball, Incinerate. Here we're in a dungeon. Or is it a dungeon? Yeah, I think it's a dungeon. A little bit of gameplay. So Sorcerer definitely pretty strong. I'm not sure if Necro Sorcerer is stronger at the moment. I think Necromancer feels a little bit more OP, especially with the minions. I'm not sure how the minions will scale into the late game, so I think I would put at the moment Sorcerer and Necromancer into the S tier. Rogue into the A tier, and then Druid and Barbarian into the B tier. I had a lot of fun playing Sorcerer. I played first an Ice build, or Frozen build, which felt also pretty good. Felt a little bit more variance, you have more options, but at the end of the day it was doing a little bit less damage than mostly here necessary. I mean, look, these big groups here, how fast you can kill them with this spec. You just walk into it, put always your HYDRAS down. I also have the HYDRAS as an enchantment. That means every 300 mana or 400? I think every 300 mana I get another Hydra, a 5-headed Hydra additionally extra, which is pretty strong. And apart from this, you have Ice Shield and Ice Armor, which makes you very tanky. Also, this gives you a good mana regeneration so that you can spam Incinerate pretty good, which leads to a big burst damage, together with your Hydras that are already doing big DPS. You have just crazy amount of damage, and again with Flame Shield and Ice Armor you have also very high tankiness, as you can see here. Usually you can just walk through dungeons like this, spawn your 1 or 2 Hydras and just walk. That makes most of the groups defeat most of the groups. If there is an elite, then you have to stay there and manage it by yourself, like I'm doing it here right now. But again, here I forget to spawn my Hydras again. So most important thing, definitely having 1 or 2 Hydras always up. That's my biggest recommendation. Then looking that you play around with your barriers, with your Ice Armor and Flame Shield, that you have good mana regeneration and tankiness. And then, to be honest, it's mostly keeping up a little bit of Flame Bolts and mostly Incinerate. So Flame Bolt only a little bit for mana regeneration and burning enemies, and Incinerate is your real damage here because of the high. I think already that Sorcerer has too much mana regeneration, or it feels like. When I think about playing Druid with his Spirit and stuff like this is crazy. Yeah, how much mana regeneration you have without using any mana regeneration talents. but okay. Again, I have here no legendary that is only available for that is necessary for this build. You can definitely play this build without any legendary. Later on there are legendaries that definitely help you out with this build a lot. Or is the double Hydra a legendary? I'm not sure. Or is it just a skill? Sorry, I played so much Diablo the last few days that I forget sometimes which is exactly now talent, which is exactly now a legendary, but definitely this is not dependent on something like this. I think the talents always already give you a second Hydra. So yeah, the build again is pretty strong and also in my opinion easy to play. Like again, keeping HYDRAS up, playing around with your barriers and then doing this. Keeping Incinerate active as much as possible for big DPS and then just move on. You see your mana regeneration, so you always can summon a Hydra. Besides you're really on 0 mana. You ultimate, you can always use it on packs like this, why not? There is no need for hold it back. It has around 40 seconds cooldown. That means, yeah, every like second pack you should have it, I would say, or maybe even on every really big pack that you are fighting. In a second we see also here a boss fight, which is pretty awesome with mage, so it's pretty fast. You barely need to move because of your barriers and you just defeat everything. So yeah, really the build is super strong. I think there is a frost build that is also working. I think there is a lightning build that is pretty good working. So there are different builds with sorcerers that are working pretty good at the moment. I think this is my preferred one. The HYDRAS are just awesome. They look cool, they feel satisfying, they do a lot of damage. They also do a lot of single target DPS if there's only one mob. So yeah, overall a pretty nice spec, really. I love the HYDRAS, I love all the flame things. The ice barrier is definitely working here in this build pretty good, so I would recommend it to you to have it. Not sure if it will be later on necessary, but yeah, it's just giving you a little bit more time than the flame shield. I guess we're coming here now to the boss fight after this group. It's just awesome. Look at the HYDRAS. Too less space in the inventory. Who cares? I mean, it's the end of the beta, last day. Oh, I think I recorded it yesterday, so the day before the last day, Saturday. But yeah. Now, boss fight will be a pretty fast boss fight, pretty easy. So, long story short, that's it with the guide, the build. It's more a build than a guide, to be honest. But yeah, look at the damage that I'm doing to this guy. I'm just staying in front of him as a sorcerer, not as a barbarian. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the build. I think it's a pretty good build for the release as well. We will see what they nerf, what they buff after the beta. I think maybe Sorcerer and Necro will see a buff or nerf. I think Rogue is perfectly balanced. That's it for today, guys. Like and subscribe.